Hi everyone, I'm Sarah of Rich Textures Crochet and welcome to Learn to Crochet. Today we are going to be learning how to make the half double crochet stitch, which is the stitch that is seen on this swatch right here. So if you'd like to crochet along with me, grab some yarn and your favorite crochet hook, and today we will learn how to make the half double crochet stitch together. Okay, so once you have your yarn and your hook, you're going to start by making a slip knot. Before we continue, if you take a look at my blog, richtexturescrochet.com, you will find all of the written and photo tutorials for this Learn to Crochet series there under the Learn to Crochet tab. So if you go to my blog, you will find written and photo tutorials for what I am going to show you here. Okay, so we are going to make our slip knot. As well, on my blog, I have full instructions on how to do each of these foundation sort of pieces. If you're not familiar with a slip knot, what I like to do to make my slip knot is take the yarn like this. I cross it over. I'll put my hook down, and then I reach through that hole and I grab the yarn that is attached to my ball of yarn, and I simply pull it through and pull it tight. That's how I make my slip knot. Then you're going to slide that slip knot onto the shaft of your crochet hook. And for the purposes of this tutorial today, to learn the half double crochet, I will be starting with a foundation chain, which is simply a row of chains that I'm going to work my half double crochet stitches into. So to make my chain stitch, I'm going to wrap the yarn around my hook, and I'm going to pull the hook through that loop and pull up a new loop. That is my chain stitch. That is one. I'm going to do that again. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now I'm going to chain one extra chain, and this is going to be called my turning chain, and you'll see why in just one second. So one extra chain. So altogether I have made 11 chain stitches. For the first row, I prefer to half double crochet today into the back bumps of my chain. If you take a look at your chain, you have these back single bumps, or if you turn it over, you have the tops of them, which kind of look like a V. So I'm going to keep my chain with the back bumps facing up, and I'm going to work into each of these bumps for this first row. Now, because that last chain I did is a turning chain, I will not work in that chain. I'm going to start my first stitch in the second chain from my hook. To do the half double crochet, you will wrap your yarn or yarn over your hook. You're then going to insert your crochet hook into the second chain, so there's the first one, into the second chain from your hook, just like that. You're going to yarn over or wrap your yarn over your hook one more time, and you're going to pull your crochet hook through that loop and pull up one more. So you will now have 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook. Then you are going to yarn over, and you're going to pull your hook through all 3 loops on your hook, and then pull that loop up a little bit on the shaft of your crochet hook. And that is your first half double crochet. We're going to do it again. Now we're going to do it in the third chain from our hook. To show you again, you're going to wrap your yarn around your hook. You're going to yarn over, they call it. You're going to take your hook and you're going to insert it under the back bump because we're working in our foundation chain. You're going to wrap the yarn over your hook one more time. Just lay it across the top. And you're then going to pull that yarn through under the bump of that chain stitch and up. So you will have 1, 2, 3 loops on your hook. You're then going to wrap that yarn around your hook again or lay it over top, yarn over, and then you're going to pull that yarn through all 3 loops on your hook. And now if you take a look here, you have 1 and 2 half double crochet stitches. Why don't we continue along down our chain? So we will be working 8 more half double crochet stitches. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, so you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. You can now see you have 1, 2, 3, 4 half double crochet stitches. So you're going to keep going all the way to the end. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through. And in our last chain right here, yarn over, insert your hook in that last chain, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. So now that you've come to the end of your chain, you've come to the end of your row, and if you take a moment to look back at your work, you will see you'll have 10 half double crochet stitches. This is the front of your work here. And if I turn it over, it looks a little bit different, but those are your stitches there on the back. If you look at the top, you will have a nice row of these V stitches right across here. Now today, for the purposes of this tutorial, we will be working these half double crochet stitches in a row. So we are going to be traveling back and forth, back and forth. So now what we are going to do is we are going to build on top of these half double crochet stitches that we've already done. We're going to build up this way. So what we are going to do in order to work another row of these stitches is we are going to start by chaining 1. So you remember how to do your chain. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull 1 loop through. So this is right here, right there, that's 1 chain. You're then going to turn your work so that you're able to work back in, it would be the opposite direction if you had kept it facing forward, but now we're going to work back along our previous row. Okay? This chain 1 is called the turning chain. again. So you never ever work in that. That is just simply so that your work doesn't bunch when you get or fold over on itself when you start working up. It just kind of lengthens or heightens the stitch for you to keep your work flat. Okay, so we're going to start now by working across this, and we are going to be working under both of these loops. So if you take a look at the top of your work, we have these nice V stitches here. We're going to be inserting our hook under that V. So if you look here, in the yarn that I'm using, it has this nice kind of little hole there underneath this top horizontal bar. So this is where we are going to be placing our crochet hook. Okay, each V here is 1 stitch. So what we are going to do as we did before, we're going to yarn over. We're going to insert our hook in that first, under that horizontal bar, in that first stitch. So here, this is what it looks like through here. If you're looking at it from the top, you can see my hook is going under both of those little, that little V there. Okay, so I'll show you again. I'm going to insert my hook in that little hole there. And then I'm going to yarn over again. I'm going to pull my hook under the V and back out. I'll have 3 loops on my hook. I'm going to yarn over one more time and pull a loop through all 3 of the loops that were on my hook. And that is your first half double crochet on this side. Next, we're going to move to the next stitch, and you can see my little hole here peeking out at me. I'm going to yarn over. I'm going to insert my hook under that top horizontal bar, under the V stitch, if I'm looking at it from the top, just like that. I'm going to lay my yarn across the top of my hook, or yarn over. I'm going to grab a hold of that yarn, I'm going to pull it back under that V and up on, bring another loop up onto my crochet hook. I have 3 loops on my crochet hook. I'm then going to yarn over one more time and pull the yarn through all 3 loops on my hook. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch under that V, yarn over, pull the yarn through under the V and up onto your crochet hook, yarn over, and pull the loop through all 3 of the loops on your hook. And you're going to keep doing that all the way across to the very end of your row. So in total, you will have 10 half double crochet stitches in a row, one on top of the other, just like such. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, and pull through. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. Now it's very important when you come to the end of your row, sometimes this last stitch is hard to see. If you are unsure how many, if you're supposed to work in this last stitch or not, go back and count your stitches. You can either count them on the front or at the top, and make sure that you have the number of stitches that your work is calling for. So we need to have 10 stitches in our row. I'll count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that means I must still work in this final loop V of my row. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops on your hook. And now you have 10 half double crochet stitches in a row. So to work back the other way, we're going to do exactly as we did before. We're going to chain 1. We're going to turn our work, and then we can continue making our half double crochet stitches exactly the way that we did for the row that we just finished. Yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, and pull through all 3 loops. So go ahead and work a few rows until you're feeling confident. And thank you so much for joining me on this tutorial on how to do the half double crochet stitch. Thanks for watching. Happy crocheting. Bye.